Last week's agenda of the President of the European Commission started with a busy day at the informal European Council on Growth and Employment. A few hours before the start of the meeting, José Manuel Barroso received the new Prime Minister of Croatia, Zoran Milanovic. President Barroso congratulated him on his recent appointment and the successful result of the Croatian accession referendum. He stressed that the new government should now continue on the reform path towards full EU membership in July 2013 and ensure that all the commitments taken in the accession negotiations are fully respected. President Barroso also held his first meeting with Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy, who assumed office last December. The two leaders notably talked about the debt crisis in Europe and the importance to tackle youth unemployment in Spain and in the rest of Europe. At the informal European Council starting in the afternoon, the President of the European Commission introduced the main topic, growth and jobs, and made concrete proposals on how to tackle youth unemployment, deepen the single market, and support small and medium-sized enterprises. He emphasised the need to speed up growth-enhancing measures and to make better use of EU funds and instruments. President Barroso received broad support for his ideas, including the proposal to create joint action teams with the Commission, Member States and national social partners to come up with targeted plans by April to help tackle youth unemployment. In a press conference after the meeting, he welcomed the outcome of the summit, including the agreement reached on the International Treaty for Stability, Convergence and Governance, as well as the agreement on the treaty establishing the European Stability Mechanism.
We need to deepen the single market. We need to do more in concrete terms to create better conditions for growth. And precisely since there is not so much fiscal space for stimulus, because there is not in our member states that space, we should concentrate on the structural reforms that can unleash the growth potential of Europe. So it is important to keep the course, to be determined, to be coherent, to be persistent. The reality is that many of our member states are making impressive reforms, but of course some of those results takes time to appear. But I believe that if we keep this line, we'll regain back the confidence, not only of the markets, but mainly, and this is most important of all, the confidence of our citizens. I thank you.
On Tuesday, following up on the European Council, President Barroso sent letters to 8 member states with youth unemployment levels significantly above the EU average: Spain, Greece, Slovakia, Lithuania, Italy, Portugal, Latvia and Ireland. In his letter, he explained the Commission's support offer and asked them to develop action plans by mid-April. Those plans should then be incorporated into national reform programmes and should include measures to tackle youth unemployment and support small and medium-sized enterprises. On Wednesday, in front of the members of the European Parliament in Brussels, President Barroso debated the results of the European Council. The meeting, he said, was a first but significant step of heads of state and government in recognising that it's not enough to focus on financial stability and economic discipline alone.
By bringing to the table concrete proposals to tackle youth unemployment and to finance SMEs, the Commission broadened the perspective towards the issues that are of greatest concern to all our citizens: jobs and growth, sustainable growth.
Furthermore, he stressed that the main message coming from the discussion on growth and employment on Monday was the need to do much more to unleash the potential of the single market, Europe's crown jewel. President Barroso also highlighted the Commission's determination to maintain the role of the European Union institutions and of the community method in the new treaty. Later on the same day, he received the President of the German Bundestag, Professor Norbert Lammert, for an exchange of views on the outcome of Monday's European Council. They also discussed the state of democracy in Europe and the role of the Bundestag in European affairs. President Barroso then met with the Secretary-General of the Cooperation Council for the Arab States of the Gulf, Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani. Talks focused on cooperation between both blocs and the perspective of concluding a free trade agreement in the future. President Barroso showed the EU's appreciation for the Gulf Cooperation Council's increased political role in the region, notably in Yemen, Syria and Libya. Thursday was marked by the first official visit to the European Commission of Hamadi Jebali, the new Tunisian Prime Minister of the country's transitional government. Talks included the ongoing democratisation process in Tunisia since last year's Arab Spring. They also talked about the political and financial support of the European Union to the country's economic recovery. President Barroso reassured his interlocutor that the Commission remains on the side of Tunisia in this historic moment. The two sides agreed to pursue negotiations on a privileged partnership that would give Tunisia closer ties, including access to the EU's single market.